Good afternoon. This is Power365 Online Radio coming to you live from the city of Ibadan. And this is the world news coming from our studio. My name is Olamide Adeniji. First, the headlines. Hoodlums loot, vandalize NCC building in Kano during End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. Still on End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest, protesters shout down minister at Eagle Square. Mother with baby confronts police after tear gas pepper spray used on protesters. Akpabio's aide says his principal did not say he would eat while others protest. Still on End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest, police arrest journalist protesters in Calabar. Sokoto youths join End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. And on the world scene, Russia frees US reporter in major prisoner swap with West. Now the news in full. Hoodlums have looted the newly built Nigeria Communications Commission Industrial Park in Kano State as the End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest started today. The vandals targeted the Kano Information and Communication Technology Center just days before its scheduled launch, setting it on fire and making off with valuable equipment. Photos circulating online show youths leaving the scene with looted items including computers, furniture, and electronics. Still on the protest, protesters shouted down the Minister of State for Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, who arrived at the Eagle Square in Abuja to address the protesters. As the minister tried to address the crowd, the protesters continued to chant Hunger Day, preventing the minister from speaking. However, after quelling the crowd, the minister said he wasn't attempting to shut down the protest, describing himself as a comrade who has attended between 100 and 500 protests. Still in Abuja, officers of the Nigeria Police Force stationed at the Eagle Square in Abuja have dispersed protesters with canisters and pepper spray. At about 10:30 a.m., police shot canisters after first firing warning non-lethal shots at the ground. Following the warning shots, an angry protester confronted the police officers holding up a baby and daring the officers to shoot. Things quickly escalated as other protesters joined her, confronting the officers and daring them to shoot. In response, the police fired pepper spray immediately, followed by tear gas canisters to disperse the protesters. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, has lamented the destruction of a technology hub in Kano just days before its scheduled launch. The Digital Innovation Park, designed to support Nigeria's Technical Talent Accelerator Program 3MTT, was reportedly set ablaze and looted during the protest on Thursday. The incident occurred as part of wider unrest in Kano, where protesters targeted the yet-to-be commissioned Nigeria Communications Commission Industrial Park. Meanwhile, Kenny Okolugbo, consultant communications and strategy to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, has debunked claims that the Senate President said he would be eaten while protesters are protesting. Okolugbo, in a statement made available to media men on Thursday, emphasized that Akpabio never made such remarks. He further clarified that the Senate President, during his visit to the NDDC-sponsored Youth Stakeholders Summit in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, on Tuesday, highlighted that the Niger Delta region, despite ongoing challenges, has not resorted to protest. Still on the protest, several journalists and activists have been beaten, handcuffed, and taken by security agents to unknown locations in Calabar, Cross River State. Newsmen reported that the managing editor of the online newspaper Cross River Watch, Mr. Jonathan Ugbal, is among the arrested journalists. It was gathered that they were taken by security personnel along with other activists who engaged in a peaceful protest early Thursday morning to an undisclosed location. The journalists were following some activists around the popular Mary Slessor roundabout in Calabar, where a handful of protesters had gathered on Thursday, and the first day of the 10-day planned nationwide protest. Still on the protest, youths in Sokoto State on Thursday morning trooped out in their large numbers to join their counterparts from across the country in the national protest against hunger. Nigerians are protesting against economic hardship and end bad governance in Nigeria, in the West African country. Newsmen who monitored the protests gathered that youths had placards with different headlines on them. One of the protesters, Abdullahi Aliyu, who spoke with newsmen at the entrance gate of the state government house, lamented over the high cost of foodstuff in the state. He called on the government, especially at the federal level, to review some of its policies to let the poor in the society breathe. And now to the foreign scene. U.S. journalist Evan Gershkovich and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan were released on Thursday, the Turkish government announced, in one of the BS East-West prisoner of swaps since the Cold War. Prisoners from the United States, Germany, Poland, Slovenia, Norway, Belarus, and Russia were involved in the swap, carried out by Turkey's MIT intelligence service, Turkey's presidency said. There was no immediate confirmation from U.S. officials, although the swap was widely reported by U.S. television networks. The Kremlin declined to comment on any exchange. And this ends our news at 4 p.m. Thank you for staying tuned. This is still Power365 online radio. Before we go, these are the headlines again. End bad governance in Nigeria, protesters shouts down minister at Eagle Square. We also brought you the news. The mother with baby confronts police after tear gas pepper spray used on protesters. Millions of naira down the drain. Minister laments Kano NCC park looting. And in faraway Sokoto State, Sokoto youths join End Bad Governance in Nigeria protests. And on the foreign scene, we brought you the news that Russia frees U.S. reporter in major prisoner swap with West. And this ends our programs and news for today. Thank you for staying tuned to Power 365 Online Radio. Join us tomorrow when we bring you more news and we bring you refreshing programs. Until then, do have a blessed evening. My name is Olamide Adeniji. Goodbye.